Hello, Chill Computer Guy. Today we're in Bitwig Studio. We are taking a look at the Abbey Road Chambers. This is a brand new plugin. They've added it to the Abbey Roads collection, and it's actually on sale right now on the Waves website. I don't know how long the sale is going to be going on, but I highly recommend picking this thing up because you can get it for 30 bucks, plus use a coupon code, brings it down to like 26 bucks. But this is kind of a different take on reverb. I know that the Abbey Roads plate is a plugin that I also own because I got that on the same $30 sale, and I love that plugin. Now, the problem with that plugin and also this plugin is it is very high on DSP, so you're going to want to put this on a return track or possibly a bus. In this example, I put it on the vocal track because I really like the way this plugin, I really like what it does to the vocals. I've tried it on a few top lines and it's very good as well. The thing I like about this plugin, it has that old school analogy kind of, it's just a musical plugin, as is all Waves plugins, especially the Abbey Road collection. One of the things I love about Waves plugins is the sales. They have sales. Pretty much every single Waves plugin there is will eventually rotate and be on sale for $29.95, and then of course you can use a 10% off coupon and get these for 26 bucks and like 40 cents or something. So, but now normally these Waves plugins are 300 bucks a pop, or they're very, very expensive. But if you're patient and you're definitive about the plugin you want and you're patient, it will eventually be on sale and you'll be able to afford it. The Abbey Road Chamber right now, as it is released, is on sale. I don't know how long this sale is going on. But yeah, I figured I'd do a quick review on this. This is the in-track review. We're going to do the in-track review, meaning we're going to take a plugin and we're actually going to use it in a track. This is a track called Chamber Review. No, I don't know what this track is called. This is a track that I was working on last week. Have about 30-40 minutes into this track. And it was a track that was kind of sitting on the back shelf. I applied this to the vocal track, and as you'll be able to hear, it really does kind of puts the vocal right into the mix. That's probably the majority of what I'm going to use this on as vocal stylings, just because it does take the vocal and melt it into the track very, very well. But I would also probably use this on top line melody or any kind of maybe a high pitch arpeggiator might sound good through here. Anything you want to, bounce off the wall. You got to think of this as a chamber. Think of sound in a big tile room. If you were to scream or yell or go, whoo, it would echo, it would reverberate. And that's pretty much what this plugin is simulating, and done very, very well, and allows you to use acoustic spaces, unlike most reverbs, but this one is specific to chamber type reverbs. Now, as you can see, the plugin has a very, very clear input and output meter, an input and output slider, and then in between there you get kind of a visual of the three different, it's called reverb type, but these are the three different kind of chambers. You have chamber 2, which is going to give you the most option. Then there's a mirror room, which is another tile room with some weird kind of reflection going on. And then, of course, a stone room, which is a little bit more absorbent, I would imagine. So yeah, three different chambers to work with here. Now, the stone and the mirror rooms are only going to give you the option to put the microphone far or near. Okay. So you can adjust the distance from the microphone to the speaker. The chamber 2, however, is going to give you a lot more options. You can position the microphones against the wall, the classic, the room, so three different options for microphone placement there. And then you can also adjust the microphone type. So you have 2 different microphone types there. Then you have 3 different positions there. Not only that, but the speaker, which is at the other side of the room, you have 2 different options for a speaker there. And then you can have the speaker facing the wall or pointing out towards the room. So pretty cool stuff there. So below here is all the options for the microphone and the speaker configuration within the chamber, and that is going to give you a different result, of course. And then time X is basically going to give you kind of a longer decay. This is a longer decay. I guess this is seconds. This is 500 milliseconds. This is 1 second. This is 1.5 seconds. I guess I'm guessing on that. But that's why this is the in-track review, is because I might not know all the technical mumbo jumbo about this plugin, but I'll leave a link in the description. There's actually a video on the website that explains all the technical aspects of this plugin in a very sophisticated and very detailed way. Now below that we have the Steed, the STEED. Now this is an acronym. Think of this as a delay. Now when the signal is passed through the speaker, it's gonna delay before it bounces off the walls and then into the microphone. So this is basically a delay that has been put into the chamber circuit, if you will. So if you only want the high, mid, or low part of the signal to be delayed, you can do that. Now this is going to be the feedback, the actual feedback of the delay coming out of the speaker. And you can control the delay times. You can also sync those. And then you have a drive, so you can drive that signal, that delay signal. As far as the in-track review goes, I've noticed this, if this is on and you turn this Steed up, it gives you a dirtier kind of signal, in my opinion. Now the mod is going to give you some waviness with that delay, and then the drive is going to give you just more drive in the delay. We'll maybe add some little bit of distortion and whatnot into the signal. Now to the left of there, we have filters to chamber. So we can do a high or low cut of the signal coming into the chamber. So if we only want the high end of the signal to be affected with the chamber reverb, we can do that. We can control that here. And then also we can take 2,000 hertz to 7,000 hertz. We can take that and then we can spike that. We can basically shelf that, or we can dip that down there. So that's, and you have three different options here. You have 10K, so you can put a 10K shelf into the chamber, or you can put a 3,000 to 5,000 hertz into the chamber and spike that, or a 2,000 to 7,000 hertz into the chamber. And you can spike that, or you can reduce that. And so that's going to give you affect the tone of the output of the chamber quite a bit. So basically think of it as these two things here, which also you can deactivate. You know, they have a little power switch, so you can turn these things off. So if you turn these both off, you're getting just the chamber. Lots of ways to control the signal coming into the chamber. So both the Steed and the filters. To the right of that, we have a mix control. We can control the amount of total reverb coming in, and we also have a dry wet. So now another great thing about the plugin is you can actually control this, you know, by clicking on here, and you can control, you know, where the mics are at. And so this interface is somewhat it's visual, but it's also, you also have the ability to control some of the aspects of the mics and the speakers within the chambers. In other words, you can just kind of slide these forward if you want, as opposed to going down here and clicking this. Not only that, but above there, there's a signal flow. If you click that, it shows you kind of a diagram of the signal flow. And yeah, this is really cool because you can kind of get a concept of what's going on with this plugin as far as signal flow is concerned. So very handy, very useful. Pretty basic controls. This is a big trial and error plugin. I really like sending, like I was saying, vocal through here, you know, putting a little gain maybe in the 10K, giving the vocal some air, and then using the dry wet, and it'll almost ghost the vocal into the chamber. You know, you have the dry vocal, and then you have this kind of air on top of the vocal with a little tad bit of feedback and a little bit of room vibe. And, you know, it's just, yeah, you get a lot of great vibe with this plugin. Now, on top here, you have tons of presets by tons of producers. We have, you know, Billy Bush, Dave Ponsato, we have, you know, Chris Lord Algae, you know. And so what I'm guessing is they probably beta tested this plugin with all these producers and had them write presets for it. And I went through a couple of these. They're all pretty cool presets. A lot of different, you have shiny brass, stoned vibes, the man in the mirror, thick vocal room, vocal trip, vocal magical. I mean, very exciting sounding presets. And then, of course, you have the Abbey Road standard presets, acoustic mirror. Classic 60s vocal is what I'm going to just put it on to demo it. And then we're going to take the dry wet down to about, I don't know, about 30%. Because like I was saying, we put this right on the vocal track. Let's go ahead and listen to this track. And then when it gets to the vocal part, it's going to loop. And then we're going to go ahead and reset this and pull through a couple of the controls so you can hear it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and solo the vocal track, and then we're going to bypass this on and off, and you can kind of hear the level of character that this is given the vocal. Now we already have a couple other chains going through the vocal process, but we're going to go ahead and turn that off and use the raw vocal. Let's go ahead and demo it with the chain, and then we'll demo it without the chain here. So you're going to have different variations. You're going to have the dry vocal with the chain, and then with the Abbey Road chamber, and without the Abbey Road chamber, and then finally the dry vocal with just the Abbey Road chamber here.
Only to be reborn, 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 only to
So that's it. That's the Abbey Road Chambers. I want to call it a reverb, which it is a reverb, but it's a different take on the reverb. It's kind of the cousin of the Abbey Road's plates, which is a plugin I also love. But like I say, this plugin is high-end DSP, so I recommend putting it on a return track or maybe a bus. It's probably going to live on my vocal bus. I just really love what it does to vocal, and like I say, any instrument with high end, it's gonna really give it some sparkle, some shine, and it's gonna really give it some character. What I love about the Abbey Road's studio simulations, or any Waves plugins for that matter, is they're very, very musical. They're going to give you that kind of classic analog feel. And this one is no different. The Abbey Road Chamber. Check it out. It's on sale right now. Introductory price of $29.95. I'm going to leave a coupon code in the description below, but you'll save 10% off the $29.95. Now, normally this plugin is going to retail for $199. So as you know, Waves plugins, they aren't cheap. They're pretty pricey. They're worth every penny though, because they're very, very well modeled from classic devices, classic plugins, classic analog gear. One of my favorite things about Waves plugins are their sales. They have rotating sales, and eventually every single Waves plugin will be $29.95. So what I recommend is if you do have a Waves account, sign up for the emails, and then every time a plugin goes on sale, you'll get an email so you'll know. So check out the Abbey Road Chambers. Very nice plugin, very real sounding plugin, and it gives you just another tool in your toolbox for getting that vocal sound, or that certain sound. The way it molds, I really like the way it molds the vocal into the track. That's one of my favorite things about this plugin. And like I say, plugins for me, you try a new plugin, it inspires you, maybe even inspires you to finish a track. And this plugin did just that for this particular track, because I really like what it's doing to the vocal. Anyway, Chill Computer Guy, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up. Tell a friend about the channel. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of the Abbey Road Chambers. And stay tuned for more reviews, more tutorials, and more just more of all of that. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys again. Bye-bye.